You know, my dad played trumpet when he was a kid, but his stepfather threw it down the back stairs and dented it all up, and that was the end of his career. And my mom sang in church, and that was it. But I grew up in a really small town, really small town. Like I didn't hear real pop music or jazz. I didn't hear Maynard Ferguson until I was probably a sophomore or a junior in high school. I was born in Baltimore. We lived in South Florida for a while. My first trumpet teacher was down there, and I thought he was 1,000 years old. He was probably my age right now. His name was Al Carroll. And Al was real old school, and he would just say, if you practice, you're going to be good. You might be great. And if you don't, you're not. But I never knew how to get from where I was in this teeny tiny small town where marching band was king. Figuring out how to get from there to college was the first challenge. And then from college onto a career in music with absolutely, there's no book written on it, And so just trial and error and making a lot of mistakes. Like if I could write a book, I could write a book on what not to do to get to the point where, you have a recording career or whatever the deal is. I could not tell you how to do it. I want to be able to go to those kind of places, being able to encourage those kids to pursue that dream and to get from that little teeny tiny podunk town to the stuff that I've been able to do, which is just mind-blowing. I couldn't even have imagined the career that I have when I was in high school, because I had no idea how to get from there to here and beyond. Just by happenstance, really. I started, when I first come to Nashville, in the contemporary gospel industry. And that's really been the meat of my career for a long, long time. Like for the first 20 years of my career. I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 records. With Kirk and Yolanda and Donnie and Smokey and old school, Shirley Caesar, Rance Allen, just everybody. If it was gospel, we were on it. The message behind that has always been something that has appealed to me too, because I think what that music is doing is preparing people to get to another place. It's what you throw on in the car on the way to church to change from get those kids in the car to I'm going to sit here and let this wash over me. That's the transition. So I always felt like I sort of provided a service that way in being part of those recordings. I had a friend of mine who I recorded with in Baltimore years ago, came down to Nashville. His name is John Johns. He called me on the phone one day. And he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." And I said, "What's up, John?" This is years ago. He said, "I just bought the latest Skinner record, Leonard Skinner record." He said, "And I was listening to the record, driving down the road, and I heard these horns. And I thought, that's Vinnie." He pulled over the side of the road, stopped the car, turned the CD over. My name was in the credits, and he immediately called me. And we're talking about Skinner. We're talking about Donnie McClurkin and Leonard Skinner in the same conversation. Those folks are not going to meet on stage anytime soon.
Let's do something we haven't done yet, going dramatic into that kind of thing, going into that outro.
There are 400 orchestral jobs in the world. Each year, 30 of them come available. And for each audition, 1,000 people apply for the job. And one person gets it. That ain't me, man. That ain't me. So it was the same thing with jazz. Clifford Brown with strings. I mean, gorgeous, phenomenal, incredible, way beyond any level of understanding or ability that I would ever have. And so I think sort of realizing your strengths and weaknesses as a musician and then moving forward with them. Plus, I wanted to make money. I wanted to make money. And, you know, I just thought, because the choices that I made, the lifestyle choices that I made, the places that I wanted to be. If I wanted to go to New York, I know myself well enough to know that if I was in New York now, I would probably be working, but I would be real pissed all the time. And I just didn't want to go down that road. I want to eventually be more gentle and, you know, and be able to do what I love to do and have a great time doing it with people who I love. I really want to be a positive influence, you know? Sometimes I'm not. But I try. Once you become a spiritual or religious person, that your life changes forever. What happened to me in my Christian journey was organized religion and the business of Christian music. It has been a stumbling block for me. So yes, I am a spiritual person. You know, always doing your best and trying to be the best person that you can be. Given what you know is right and wrong is what we should all be doing. What brings me joy? Oh man, so many things. My wife. Riding my bicycle and playing my horn. My son and his family and my grandkids. The dogs. Just really being able to live the life that we have created for ourselves. Cooking for my wife. I know that sounds crazy. But when she comes in, every time she comes in, she says, "Oh, the house smells so good." I mean, that right there, that's it, man. That's the payoff. Bing! I might as well have won the lottery. To be able to step back and say, "Shoot, man, you're good at what you do, man." Being good at what I do, that brings me joy too. You know, helping other people. Like if I get a call for a session and I can call somebody and say, "Hey man, I got a session, we're going to go make a couple $100 and make music together." I love that. That turns me on. Taking care of the people that I care about. That really brings me a tremendous amount of joy. Yeah. Is that it? Is that good?